So everyone should have two things in front of them. You should have a white sheet and you should have a green card. Keep the white sheet for now. What I wanted to talk about today was motivation, specifically with short-term goal setting, because I know a lot of you are coming to the end of this 6 weeks. A lot of you either achieved your goals or got a good part of the way there. And one of the things that people always seem to struggle with, especially the last 2 weeks of something like this, is motivating yourself to stick with it. And then obviously beyond the challenge as well, what you want to do for setting goals beyond this. So I put together a little cheat sheet formula for you. Now this is going to sound like a little bit of work, but if you actually do it, you'll probably be surprised at how much it will motivate you to make good choices and continue doing things that'll help build on the hard work you put in here, because I know you all work really hard for the workout, and it can be very frustrating when you work super hard in here, come work out 5-6 times a week, and then you can't stop yourself from making poor nutrition choices throughout the week or things like that. So this is kind of geared specifically towards that. So on the first part, I don't actually have a sheet in front of me, but I think it says your goal, correct? So we're actually going to fill these out. So I'm going to have you guys write down a goal. It should be time specific. For example, I will lose 10 pounds in the next 2 weeks. It doesn't have to be a weight loss goal. It can be I will come to every workout. It can be I will be able to do a push-up on my toes, something like that. Weight loss goals are the easiest ones to do, and those are probably what most of you are in here for, so that's probably a good one to start with. Don't make it super long. We want this to be probably a 2 to 6 week goal, so something that you can see progress on. If you want to make 2 goals, an ultimate one, and then make a second 2 to 6 week goal, that would probably be ideal. It also needs to be something that we mentioned time specific, but something that's measurable to achieve. So not I want to feel better in 2 weeks, because you can't measure that. Okay. And then the second thing on there, I think some of you have already started on that, but finding your why. We've done this, I know, before on the cards, but this is probably the one that you might need to think about a little bit. Think about, it can be helpful to think of when you started, like what made you decide, oh, I need to join this workout program. I need to, find a personal trainer. I need to find a nutrition program to stick with. What is it that really made you decide you're doing it? It could be your family. It could be, your doctor told you if you don't lose weight, you're at serious risk of developing diabetes, things like that. I've heard all of those things before. So whatever the biggest reason that you really need to achieve the goal that you put before is. The third part then, since it looks like everyone is pretty much finishing with that, what would it mean to you to achieve this goal? For this one, really try and think about this, because this is going to be one of the most important parts. Imagine yourself feeling exactly like you laid out in the goal on that first one. What exactly does that mean to you? How will your life be different? Or the clothes you will fit into? Will you have more energy to keep up with your kids? Will you probably live a longer life? Will you be happier with the way you feel? Is there some event you'll be able to go to that you wouldn't have felt comfortable going to before? Will you be happier with your family, your husband, whatever that is? So those are important ones, so make sure you write down something, again, specific for that. Okay, and then once you're done with this part, the next part can be one of the harder parts as well. I want you to write a list of, ideally at least 3 or 4 things on each side. What will happen if I achieve my goal? For example, this is someone else, what they put on theirs before. So this is a 4-month goal, but I want to lose 30 pounds in the next 4 months. If I don't, I will have even lower self-esteem knowing I tried and failed. I will continue to be more unhappy in the way I feel. I will continue to feel like I get 2 years older every year. My husband will continue to be less attracted to me, and I will continue to struggle keeping up with my kids. I will probably die sooner. So obviously these are a little bit big things, maybe a little bit scary to write down, but it's really important for you to realize the full extent of why this is important to you. And then if you succeed, the same person put on there. I will be as happy as I've ever been with myself. I will feel younger and more energetic. My husband will be more attracted to me, and I will have more energy to be with him and my family. I will have a longer, healthier life. So yours doesn't have to necessarily be that involved, but try and put down, excuse me, at least a couple things on each one. If I achieve my goal, 1, 2, 3. If I do not achieve it, these are the specific things that will happen with it. And it might sound a little bit silly, but the longer you can take, or the more thought you can put into these now, the more likely you are to be successful. Again, this is only for you, so don't worry about what someone else will think about it. Just write down what comes to your mind. And the last part is one specific measurable action step I will take to achieve this goal. So this is where, you can pick all kinds of things. Just pick one thing that you know will help move you towards the goal. Make it as big a thing as possible. For example, I'll come to every workout for the next, I'll work out once at least for 5 days in a row. I'll work out at least once a day, for the next 4 weeks. I will make sure I track my nutrition. I will stop eating candy for the next 4 weeks, something like that. Try and make it something bigger, if that makes sense. Not I will have, not I will have eggs for breakfast every day. I mean, if that is fine, but try and make it a big step that is very specific and will lead you towards that goal. Or something you have trouble with specifically, because we're trying to motivate you to kind of reach that part of it. So then you have your green card. I want you to put your goal again on there in your own words. I will, whatever your goal is, by whatever date you set to achieve it. Make this your smaller goal. We don't need the ultimate goal yet, because that's a little bit harder to deal with in a day-to-day motivation type thing. And then for the if I do achieve this, if I don't achieve this, you don't have to copy your entire list from that white page. Just put down something. It can be a picture if you want. Like some people are visual, so draw a picture of something that will remind you of, for example, if your goal is to, I'm going to go on a cruise when I lose these 20 pounds, maybe put a picture of a ship, or put a picture of your kids, or like, a stick figure picture of your kids if you're as good an artist as I am. But something like that will kind of trigger that whole list in your mind. If you want to put the whole list down, go for it. But the reason I said it that way is this card, I want you to leave somewhere that you're going to see it. Either put it on your mirror, the dashboard of your car, put it on your desk, put it in your pocket, put it on your bedside table, or put it on the fridge, or where you typically eat, or where you find that you lack the motivation that you struggle with. So like if it's hard for you because you always go out to eat with coworkers at lunch at work and make poor choices, put it on your desk at work. If you want to take another card, you can take as many of these as you want. Fill out as many of them as you can. And then at the bottom, every day is my choice, which side I will move closer to. You're moving towards one side of your goal or the other, and it's always your choice. It can be hard to motivate yourself to do it, but hopefully these reasons you wrote down help you realize how important it is to move towards that. And you choose every time, so that the card hopefully will remind you which side you want to move towards, and will make that choice that much easier. So hopefully everyone got something out of this exercise. And the idea is with these cards, it will be the point of, you don't necessarily have to read it, but seeing it. And that's why I suggested a picture if you're that visual person. Seeing it will kind of trigger that in your mind of, oh, that's right, I'm doing this, for my kids, not just for myself, for my husband, not just for myself. Whatever that trigger is that makes you go, okay, I really need to make sure, I'm going to make a hard choice, or a good choice, even if it's a hard one. So you can do this. I mean, if this is something that, helps you over the next month, do it again. Set another goal at the end of that month. That's why I suggested having an ultimate goal and a shorter-term goal. So, that was a little more serious than some of the stuff we usually do, but hopefully everyone got a little bit something out of that. If you have any questions about your goals, feel free. Christy and I are always free to talk about what a reasonable goal is if you're not sure, how much you want to do over the next 4 weeks or whatever. So.